Hello, everyone. Big Al back here with you again. And today I wanted to try out something a little different. I guess I've been doing that a lot lately. I was actually pretty curious about some of the new snapshot releases that they've done, and I wanted to check out the Dappled Forest and this new cushion update, of course. So I found myself a world seed that's supposed to spawn you in the Dappled Forest, and it looks like it does actually. Very glad that worked. And I think we're gonna check out this biome that's hopefully going to be officially released soon. Right now it's in the snapshot. And also check out these cushions. See what all the hype is about with our Dappled Forest and cushions. And so far, the autumn vibes are immaculate. I very much like the Dappled Forest so far. So let's take a look around. See what's going on in this new biome. And initially I'm playing in survival here, but I'm already kind of thinking I might turn this into a creative mode let's play. Because as I'm walking through this forest here, I'm thinking that these are just such good vibes, and I already have a survival mode let's play going anyways with my chill Minecraft to study to. So I think this could just be a fun creative mode play. But why not mess around in survival initially? But I'm already thinking I might turn this into creative. We'll see. There's the new mushrooms, shelf mushroom. This is the new wood, poplar wood. New tree types as well, as you can see in this biome. Yeah, I'm just kind of poking around initially here. As cool as this Dappled Forest is, this particular forest that it spawned me into, it does seem a little bit on the small side, if you ask me. Cool nonetheless. Again, the autumn fall vibes are very cool. I love the colors. I like the different trees. The new mushrooms are pretty cool. Some good cozy vibes. You could also get a little bit of add a little slight note of creepiness as well. Halloween kind of peeking through. I love the red trees and the bushes. Those are cool. Some rotten flesh laying there. And yeah, I think it's gonna mess with the music, make it a little bit louder, but I think we're gonna turn this into a creative mode let's play. I think I'm gonna take a note out of the librarian's book, the librarian on YouTube, and turn this into a cozy, kind of creepy creative mode let's play. Let's see if we can make something cool here. And yeah, this is not the biggest forest for the spawn area, but maybe we can build something cool here at the spawn, nonetheless. Let's take a look here at the top. Again, those trees are really cool. And I do like the way it kind of goes from the mountain, kind of sweeps down here. Could be a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll have to pop this world seed into a seed map and see if we can find a bigger dappled forest later down the line. But for now, let's see what we're working with and build something here at the spawn forest. Yeah, and I found this world seed on Reddit. I basically, again, I wanted to check out the dappled forest and the cushion here specifically. So I found a world seed that promised a dappled forest at spawn, and it did. So shout out to the Redditors. Here's the cushions. And I've been seeing a lot about these. You can sit on them, of course. You can place them almost pretty much anywhere, on top of anything, place them anywhere. And the sitting is pretty cool. Look at that. Chilling in the forest. Can't go wrong. Put it on top of log here. Make a seat. That's pretty cool. Hello, duck. All right. How about we find somewhere to build maybe like a cabin, maybe we build like a little spawn camp. And it would be pretty cool for it to be kind of in the mountain, I would think. Nothing too crazy, but a little cabin encampment up here, kind of partially built into the mountain a little bit. I think that'd be cool. Build it out of the poplar log, the local wood. Just gotta find it here. It's funny, I am recording the specific audio after recording the gameplay, and I did see it twice now, but I definitely missed it the first time, moving too fast. There it is. I found it. Let's gather all of our poplar items, our utilities, supplies. I found the word I was looking for. Don't worry, I got there. And we can make ourselves a little spawn camp in this somewhat small dappled forest. This is my first time playing a snapshot release. I've been seeing a lot about this new biome and of course, the new cushion update that I think literally just came out today or yesterday. I can't quite remember. All I know is it took over my entire feed, of course. So I was definitely very curious about it and thought at the same time I might check out the biome because I hadn't checked that out yet. And then I got the idea to kind of turn it into a little let's play and see if I could build something out here. And I'm thinking of like a little camp with like a log cabin, and I think I might even attempt different kind of roof, at least for me. It's probably pretty common. Everyone does those kind of arched, vaulted roofs. I usually keep it pretty simple, but I think I might attempt one of those today. Kind of go out of my comfort zone as far as building is concerned. You've seen any of my other videos. I'm not the most experienced Minecraft player all around. I'm pretty new to Java Edition specifically. Mainly played on Bedrock before, and while I have played a lot of creative and starting to play more in survival mode, I still wouldn't call myself a very experienced builder. There's definitely a lot of people out there that build things that are way out of my skill set, as I've been kind of showcasing in my other little series I started, Creative Detours, where I find uh, random worlds that people have created and explore them, because there are some very gifted builders out there that build some very cool things. But with my little creative Let's Play, I thought maybe I would try something a little different from what I normally do, and see if I can make a cool little camp out here in this forest. Yeah, I don't know if it's already pretty clear, but my building style is definitely pretty fast and loose and kind of wonky. I definitely didn't plan this out, and maybe in the future, if I'm trying to do a more extravagant build, I will plan it out a little bit more. But I always seem to just kind of run into it and see what I can come up with. And again, this specific thing is just supposed to be a pretty simple little cabin kind of camp. But you'll see here, I'm live editing constantly. No design is set in stone during my building process. I do hope everyone has been enjoying the video so far. If you have been watching anything else I've been posting, and I hope you're enjoying this so far. If you can't tell, my my style of video is pretty relaxed all around as well too. I definitely don't want to be shouting at you, and definitely not into the whole attention grabbing, trying to grab your attention every second of the video, for better or for worse. It could be my age, or maybe the era of YouTube that I kind of grew up in. I've been on YouTube a while now as a viewer, and was definitely around before the Mr. Beastification, if you will, of how content is made on YouTube. So I definitely won't be trying to scream at you or anything. When it comes to my videos, it's pretty much going to be some relaxed gameplay like this, and there might be a little bit of gab. I might talk your ear off a little bit while we're doing it, but it's definitely going to be a slower pace. So I hope anyone that's stumbles across this or any of my other videos appreciates that. So far, this cabin is coming along nicely. I think we're going to build something pretty cool and cozy out here. And this forest, again, definitely gives it a nice little, along with the coziness, a slight little creepy vibe to it as well that can be appreciated. Definitely need to light it up a little bit. I know it's going to be even darker on the recording than it was for me watching it on gameplay as I was playing. And I think since we're doing it out here in the forest and it is obviously supposed to be comfy but a little bit creepy, I think we could do some soul lanterns for our lighting. I think that would be cool. Soul lanterns, and then if we're going to do the soul lantern, we'll definitely have to do, if we do like a campfire out there, we'll have to do that as a soul campfire too. I think that just kind of matches the vibe. The regular one could look cool too, but I don't know. I think for now this matches the vibe. And again, the color palette of this biome is crazy. That's why I think after we finish our spawn camp in this first little episode here, but I guess another new series. I think after we finish this in this first episode, maybe I will try to find a bigger Dappled Forest biome in this world. That way we can appreciate it a little bit more and build something a little bit bigger. I don't really have any plans yet. You can just see what I can come up with along the way. Maybe a little cozy, creepy forest town. Sure we can come up with something cool with this forest setting. Forest craft, as I chose to call the world there. It's always good to think of a funny name for it. Yeah, I'm gonna finagle with these logs for a little bit. Try to get exactly what I'm going for. Which again is not a grand plan. There is no pre-design here, really. The only thing I really had in mind going into this was wanting to try out kind of a different style of roof than I normally build personally. And of course to play around with the cushions and kind of incorporate that into a house. In this case, a cabin. And initially kind of thought about, making it two-story. But I think for the purposes of this initial build just being a little spawn camp, I think we'll just do a single-story cabin. It should feel pretty open still with the higher roof, higher ceiling because of the roof. There are there are many things that Minecraft gets right, and one of them is definitely the sunsets and the sunrises. in Minecraft. They are just something else. They really capture the interesting vibe this game provides. Another cool thing, and it's funny that it's coming to my mind now in a moment where there isn't any music playing, but besides the music being just good on its own, this is something that other creators have talked about. I think specifically Any Austin talks about this in his video about Minecraft that he did, about the way that the music on its default setting kind of just comes in seemingly kind of randomly. As far as I can tell, the pattern seems to be if you're doing something mundane or repetitive, but there are other times too where it'll just kind of come in as you're walking, or um, there are certain areas too that kind of will cue specific music, but there really isn't too much of a hard pattern for the way that the music in Minecraft just kind of starts playing, but it always hits at the right moment. And I love the soundtrack. For all intents and purposes, I'm a pretty casual gamer. So there's not really many, like, I think a lot of people that are more hardcore gamers have video game soundtracks that like really, really stick out to them and mean a lot to them, like throughout, even back into like older games and older game systems. And I don't think I have that many that have stuck out to me, but as I've become older as a gamer, I think very specifically the Minecraft soundtrack is very has meant a lot to me so far. The more I listen to it, and the music definitely impacts me and moves me and will make you feel things. And I think another good example that I can think of is the music to be found in No Man's Sky. That soundtrack I actually added to my Apple Music library and listened to. Speaking of it there, see the way that it just kind of kicks in like this as I'm building. It's just so cool. Well done. If you're looking for great soundtracks just to listen to, Minecraft and definitely No Man's Sky. I think you will be moved by them. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you've probably listened to Minecraft already, but if you're looking for another good recommendation of video game soundtracks that you might not have considered, consider the No Man's Sky official soundtrack. Gosh, I love the way the music hits in Minecraft. And I don't know if I'm totally achieving or nailing the style of roof that I was going for so far. But we're going to roll with it, and I think we're going to end up with something pretty cool. At least I'll think it's pretty cool. Maybe other people will have different opinions. But we're just going to roll with it. This is going to be a relaxed, creative mode let's play where we're just going to see what we can come up with. And right now, that's experimenting with the roof on a cozy little cabin in the forest. Appreciating this beautiful music. Again, you can see, not very planned out, but gonna figure it out as we go. You can only really learn how to do things by doing them. And that rings true with building in Minecraft. It is what you make it. There are definitely certain ways to do things, but at the same time, I'm just gonna figure it out. And the roof, it might look a little wonky, but I don't know, it's kind of fun to think about just happening upon an oddly built cabin in the forest. I'll say too, I don't know if it's become apparent or not, but I'm not very versed in using slabs either. Never really messed around with them in my early playthroughs where I was just kind of, again, winging it. But now I've come to appreciate what you can do with them. I'm trying my best to figure out the best way to utilize them. And I can definitely see how they're helpful with building different types of roofs. Lately, Minecraft for me has been all about trying different things. In my survival Let's Play, it's been about actually playing the game, meeting the goals the game sets out for you, progressing through the upgrades and finding the ores and everything. And then I think so far with this Let's Play, this creative mode Let's Play, it's going to be about trying new things with building and playing around with some of the new features that they release in these snapshot releases and exploring a little bit. That starts with this cool little cabin, this camp out here at spawn. I think so far Again, I don't know if this is totally what I had in mind or if this is even the right way to execute this style of roof, but I think so far it's looking pretty cool and it's definitely outside of my comfort zone as far as building is concerned. Usually I just kind of slap a roof on there and I'll throw the stairs around the edge to kind of give it a little bit of a different kind of border, but this is cool. I think this is really going to pull together the cabin look and it's going to make it cool for this little forest camp that we're making. So I'm very glad that I'm attempting this and the more you do something, the better you're going to get. So maybe the next time I build a roof like this, it's going to look even better. Of course, I could have done myself some favors with the shape of the building, but again, I think that's what's going to make it look unique. It's not just a simple little box. It's going to have a few curves. It's not a simple shape. I think that's going to make it look cool. Well, it's certainly encouraging to see the roof actually taking a shape that actually looks pretty good so far. Definitely patting myself on the back so far. Again, a little wonky, not planned out, having to live edit on the fly, but I think it's looking good so far. I think it's going to come together nicely. In the words of the one of the philosophers of our time, Crunk, it's all coming together. Kind of the spirit of this YouTube channel so far has been experimentation, and I'm even experimenting further on another level with this video, where I'm kind of providing more commentary throughout the gameplay, as my other series, Chill Minecraft to Study To, has kind of been more focused on very chill, relaxed gameplay experience basically no commentary during the actual gameplay. And I think for that series, I will probably continue to do that. Maybe eventually I'll work in more commentary, but I thought for this creative mode Let's Play, it would be kind of fun to have more commentary, kind of talk about my decisions as I go, and kind of give it a story. Since with the survival mode Let's Play, you're kind of seeing the story unfold, as in, my character could literally die and has died multiple times in that one. And again, that one was more envisioned as if the name implies something that you could put on in the background and be a more relaxed experience. And you could also tune in if you wanted to and actually watch me progress through the survival mode. But I thought for this one, I could use it as a chance to talk a little bit more and be chill in a different way and maybe form a story with this world or even just kind of gab a little bit. And I did already start branching out with that a little bit in my other series, Creative Detours, where I explore the player created worlds. But I thought it would be fun to incorporate it into this series as well too. And again, in the spirit of being different, for this log cabin in the forest, I thought, why not give it some glass features, like kind of a non-standard glass windows. Make it stick out a little bit. And I thought the orange would be cool because it kind of matches the vibe of the Dappled Forest. And so yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think we're gonna incorporate orange glass into this log cabin in some unique and kind of fun ways. Fun decisions, the orange glass, the local wood, poplar wood, soul lanterns. I think it's pretty cool. It's gonna bring its own unique vibe all together for this build in this area, this world. And again, I think we'll focus on the forest setting as well for this series. So after this first episode, after we finish this first little spawn camp, I think we'll have to find an even larger dappled forest to expand our ventures, our forest craft ventures. And see, didn't plan. So I don't think the same type of glass feature is going to work in this exact spot, but we can improvise. Can always improvise. So if we don't do one on the side, where else could we throw some glass? Maybe a sky roof. Yeah. See? Can always come up with something cool. Well, that roof actually came together pretty nicely, at least for my standards, and what I was expecting. Again, maybe other people will have different opinions of it, but I am very happy with that. That's pretty cool. Definitely different than anything I've attempted personally before. So I appreciate it. And I appreciate myself for putting forth the effort to give it a shot. Yeah, it's got to have some windows, of course. And wow, catching that sunrise through the windows was pretty cool. This is a good area for spawn. Forest could be a little bit bigger, but this is a good area. It's gonna be fun to leave a little camp here. If I ever invite anyone to this world, this would be what they would first find. A weary traveler needing respite in the forest for a night. Get an outside view. Looks pretty cool in the daytime too. I like it. Call me satisfied. It's got character. Gotta love when the log won't cooperate, huh? There we go. Makes it a little bit more even on that side. Yeah, no, I think that cabin came together pretty nicely. As far for our first build in this world. This cozy, creepy, creative mode let's play. Forest craft. Now it's time to smack on some details. And of course, since we are playing around in this snapshot release, why don't we make ourselves a chair? Some seating in our cabin to kind of bring the whole vibe together, the whole aesthetic. See what you can do with these cushions. Probably not going to be playing around with them and doing all the super crazy stuff that a lot of other people have been doing. It's been fun to watch it though. But let's see if we can make some cool seating in here in our cabin. I thought it'd be fun to mix that up with a different kind of wood. I always like the crimson wood. It's fun. And I kind of think it'll match the slight creepy vibe we're trying to mixed in with the comfy, of course. Now it's all about placement. Where should we have our chair? And exactly what should it look like? That's too much of a bed, I think. Now it's time to see what the cushion can do. From my understanding, you can pretty much place it anywhere and still sit on it, which I think is cool. I really hope that they don't reel back in the functionality of the cushion in the official release. So far, it's pretty free form. I think that's cool. There's a lot you can do with it. And look at that. You can just place it. You don't even have to add anything extra. And then you're just sitting like it's a little sofa. That's really cool. Yeah, I really hope that they don't make any changes to the cushion in the way of like reeling back the functionality or restricting it in any way. I hope they only improve on it. Because at least from my understanding, this is probably the most significant building update that they've done in a while. Of course, they've added biomes and all sorts of other various things and game modes and crossovers and stuff like that. But it does kind of feel like for a long time, the building and creative mode aspect has been kind of overlooked. So if this cushion update is any indication of a renewed focus on building and stuff like that and other ways to play the game outside of survival and multiplayer, I think that's cool. I hope Mojang continues with that outlook. So far, this cushion thing is cool because look at that, two little seats, different styles of seating too. That's pretty cool. I don't know why it took so long to have just natural in-game seating without mods or anything like that, but better late than never. What can you say? Yeah, I think this cabin turned out nicely. Now I think we should turn this into more of an actual little camp. Clear out some space to do that. And again, we'll keep with the Soulfire theme that we've established here. I think it'll look really cool with the vibe that we're going with. We'll just make like a little campfire seating area here. Little outdoor area. I think that's awesome. Nothing too crazy, nothing extravagant. Oh, don't know why I threw that. Just a simple little spawn camp that you could happen upon and seek shelter in for the night if need be, and get your bearings in this world. Look at that. We can sit by the fire. That's cool. I love the seating. I think the cushions are cool. I've been seeing a lot of cool things that you can do with them, but even just the simple things, the intended purpose, if you will. I think it's cool. I think it's fun that you can just kind of place them anywhere on anything. And you can just sit down by the fire as the sun sets in our dappled forest. Very cool. I think that pulls it together for the outside. I like it. I approve of the dappled forest biome and the cushions. Gotta try out the straw beds too, but we'll probably be saving that for another episode when we venture out and go find our larger forest, perhaps. For our starting area and our first build in this world, I think that's pretty cool. I think the cabin definitely came together nicely. The roof came together nicely as an experiment, and I think the cushions are cool. I like it. I like our little camp here. This is fun. I think we'll be winding it down pretty soon and calling it for this episode. Maybe a few little finishing touches here and there, but for the most part, this cabin is, at least for now, done. Of course, gotta have a bed. How else would you seek shelter if there wasn't a bed to do so? Yeah, this is just so cozy at night too. Got a little bit of lighting from the lanterns, and the campfire out there. Again, the music just kicks in at the perfect moments. Even as we're winding down, this is great. Yeah, I thought I'd make it look a little bit more homey, you know, not so bare. A few essentials. Probably a crafting table right there, right? Yeah. Now it's a home. Could set you up for success if you stumbled upon this. 2 furnaces, crafting table, a bed, some seating, nice little campfire out there. Good forest, plenty of wood. Some animals were around. There was a duck, saw a pig at the very beginning. This is good. So far, I'm liking this new update. I hope this stuff makes it to the official release. And I think we'll kind of continue this series. This forest craft. Cozy, creepy Let's Play. Creative mode. I like it. I think this is fun. I definitely appreciate anyone who has checked out this video if you've made it this far. And if you've watched any of my other videos, appreciate you as well. If you are liking it and you're new here, maybe consider giving this video a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment. Any engagement and support is always appreciated. And yeah, this has been Big Al in our Forest Craft Cozy Let's Play. Cozy and creepy here in creative mode. And I just appreciate you so much for checking it out. I think I'll be signing off for now. And until the next episode, thank you so much.